And as enemies rise faster than allies, salvation cannot come from one hero alone, but from many.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Young here and welcome to an Elder Scrolls Online news update. Bethesda recently released a video called An Introduction to the Elder Scrolls Online, a 9.5 minutes video that summarizes what to expect in this upcoming new title. I'm not gonna lie, I was never too excited about this game, but after watching this video, my curiosity has been piqued. They first begin by talking about their ambitions, which is to create a game that will be loved by both Elder Scrolls fans and MMO fans, and they talk a bit about the setting of the game, which takes place all across Tamriel, 1,000 years before the events of Skyrim, which means a lot of the stuff you read in the books about legends, myths, stories, and history will now be brought to life in Elder Scrolls Online. However, to me, what got me most excited about this video was when they started talking about the combat and playstyles. Prior to this video, most people, including myself, believed that Elder Scrolls Online would play like the typical MMO, pointing and clicking and using skills. However, it turns out that the combat in the Elder Scrolls Online will be similar to what Elder Scrolls fans are used to. They look around with the mouse, left click to attack, hold the left click for a power attack, right click to block, and sprinting and sneaking will also make it into the game in a similar format to Skyrim. In fact, if you look at some of the footage, you will realize that the gameplay camera vastly resembles the third-person view mode in Skyrim. Unfortunately, there's no first-person mode, but still, this is awesome news. Combat will now feel familiar to Elder Scrolls fans and will also feel fresh to MMO fans. The one thing to keep in mind is that although combat and various systems will be similar to the single-player games, combat and skills will be more class-restricted, since unlike in Skyrim, which eliminates classes altogether, Elder Scrolls Online will have players choosing from one of 9 different races and one of many classes. But those who have always loved to mix up archetypes are in for a treat. The developers in the video confirmed that any race and class can equip any type of weapon and armor. In other words, there's no weapon or armor restriction for races or classes, like there would be in most other MMORPGs. Mages can equip two-handed swords, heavy armored warriors can equip bows, sneaky assassins can equip staffs and cast magic, and thieves can go around healing people. On top of that, there are perks in the game like in Skyrim that players can take advantage of, allowing them to become vampires or werewolves, and allowing them to shape their characters in unique ways. In summary, a combat system similar to the third-person combat system in Skyrim or Oblivion, although a bit more class-restricted, and customization that allows players to choose a race, a class, and equip any type of armor or weapon, and furthermore obtain, pick, and choose perks that will allow players to make a unique character. Now, of course, certain classes will specialize in certain things, since they are going to have their own set of unique skills and abilities, but classes and archetypes can now be taken to new levels of flexibility and customization. Another interesting new feature is how they handle servers. In most MMOs out there, players have to choose between shards before diving into the game, and in order to join up with friends, they have to be in the same shard, which sometimes can end up being a royal pain in the ass. The game eliminates servers altogether with a new technology they developed called Mega Server, a smart system that allocates players and their friends and guilds in a way so that they can constantly play together. In other words, Elder Scrolls Online will have players playing in one server, or will at least give that illusion. The technology will take care of everything. Now, despite all these neat features, there's no point without a vast world to explore with lots to do. Bethesda's ambition with this game is to make the questing system in this game feel more like what you've seen in single-player Elder Scrolls games. In most MMOs, players walk up to an NPC with an exclamation mark to receive a quest, they go out and do the quest, most of them fetch quest, they go back, talk to the NPC again, they get a reward, and then rinse and repeat. In regular Elder Scrolls games, however, players would actually come across the quest in a more organic way. More often than not in an Elder Scrolls game, players don't find the quests find them. Players are approached by NPCs with propositions or issues, scenes and scenarios will be placed on certain areas for players to see, and players can choose to engage them or ignore them as they wish. It is this kind of questing system that Elder Scrolls Online will have. No more NPCs with exclamation marks. Now quests will pop up organically. So yeah, this about sums up the new and most important pieces of information found in the introduction video. They also talk about about the usual MMO systems such as PvP, which will revolve around the three main factions of this game, the Daggerfall Covenant, the Ebonheart Pact, and the Aldmeri Dominion, fighting to gain dominion over Cyrodiil, which is the setting of the Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion. Players can also engage in raids. They can go solo in small groups or in big groups. But apart from those, there you have it guys, an intro to the Elder Scrolls Online. Now keep in mind, this video Bethesda released is the first in a series of many videos. This is just the introduction video. Future episodes will talk about specific systems in detail and reveal new ones as well. We are only scratching the surface here, ladies and gentlemen. So be sure to stay tuned on Yongea to be updated on Elder Scrolls Online as Bethesda releases more information on the Elder Scrolls Online. Also, be sure to subscribe to Yongea to be updated on other hot news of other AAA titles such as Fallout 4, Skyrim, Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes, The Legend of Zelda, you name it. And also subscribe to be updated on my main projects, the Skyrim Cinemas, with more coming in the near future. Thank you very much, and Yong out!